TechChop is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. TechPodcasts.com. If it's tech, it's here. The opinions expressed in this episode of TechChop do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our sponsors. Have you ever asked yourself, what is happening to our government? With bills like SOPA and CISPA that keep getting introduced in Congress, it kind of makes me wonder how the future will look in the United States. This episode of Tech Chop is brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces. Welcome to episode 16 of Tech Chop. I, of course, am Paul Bauer, aka Twitter.com/ElDePablo. Today we're getting all political up in your faces because there is yet another nasty bill that has just passed the U.S. House of Representatives that is even more nasty than the SOPA bill that was introduced last year. What is CISPA, you ask? Let me tell you. CISPA is a bill introduced by Congressman Michael Rogers and stands for the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act. It's supposed to protect the United States and U.S. companies from cyber threats and cyber terrorism. Congressman Rogers has specifically cited threats from China and North Korea. But what does CISPA really do? The Electronic Frontier Foundation, or the EFF, which is a civil liberties organization whose main focus is protecting the rights of users on the internet, has released a handy frequently asked question page about the bill. Let's talk about what the bill really does. Under CISPA, companies like Google, Yahoo, or whoever hosts your email can read your private email. This sort of action is currently prohibited by the Wiretap Act and the Electronic Communications Privacy Act. CISPA will allow those protections to be bypassed under the guise of cybersecurity. If you currently use legal methods to protect your online privacy, like using encryption or using proxies, this activity could be construed to be a possible threat to cybersecurity, and private companies will be expected to monitor all of that type of activity. Essentially, this bill turns companies like Twitter, Facebook, and Google into private spies for Big Brother, and will force those companies to hand over your personal information to the government without a warrant. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to take this opportunity to break for our sponsor. Sponsor! With colleagues working from home or traveling for business, getting everyone together for a meeting can be an impossible task. I have the solution. GoToMeeting with HD Faces. Your team can meet face-to-face while online, no matter where they are. Takes only seconds. So easy. GoToMeeting by Citrix allows you to collaborate on files and plans online. And with HD Faces, you just need a webcam to turn your online meetings into a group HD video conference. Now you can even participate on the go using your built-in camera on your iPad. Just download the free GoToMeeting app to join. If you're in a meeting and you just have a bunch of people calling in on a conference line, you don't get their facial expressions, you don't get their body language. In fact, most of the time when I call in on a meeting, I tune out. And so I'm sure that 90% of the people calling into your meeting just using a phone conference are tuning out too. They're not paying attention. But with HD Faces and GoToMeeting, you get to see their facial expressions, they have their body language, and it's like they're in the room with you. All of that enhances communication. I love GoToMeeting. I've used other conference software before, WebEx, Microsoft Live Meeting, nothing compares. In fact, every time I have to deal with a salesperson, being the IT guy, everyone wants GoToMeeting because it's just so easy to use. Start hosting your own face-to-face online meetings today with GoToMeeting. My listeners can try it free today for 30 days. Don't wait for the special offer. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click on the Try It Free button, and use the promo code PODCAST. Or better yet, use the link below in the show notes. Be sure to use the promo code PODCAST. In the first half of this segment, we talked about what CISPA is supposed to do and what it really does. Now let's talk about what you can do about it. First of all, CISPA has already passed the U.S. House of Representatives in a vote of 248 to 168, so that battle's already lost. Now the bill is moving to the Senate, so the war isn't over. DemandProgress.org has an online form at the link below where you can email senators to demand that they oppose this horrific bill. The EFF has also created an easy-to-use page to show you how to call your representatives to demand that they oppose CISPA as well. One final glimmer of hope is that President Obama's administration has vowed to veto CISPA, but one can take that with a grain of salt because Obama's advisors threatened to veto NDAA when it came up, but the president signed it anyway. One thing's for sure is that CISPA threatens our Fourth Amendment rights that's supposed to protect Americans from unreasonable searches and seizures. Presidential candidate Ron Paul says that if CISPA passes, America will be transformed into a Big Brother state. CISPA will turn companies that offer you the services that you use every day into spies that will be forced to turn over your activity to the government, and you'll be helpless against it. It's time to take a stand, America. It's time to fight back. Let your representatives know that this is your country and you value your privacy. If you do nothing, you will lose your rights. That's all I have to say about this topic for now. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments or shoot me an email, info@techchop.com. Please share this video with your friends and family to get the word out about CISPA. And be sure to use the links in the show notes to contact your representatives. On a side and completely unrelated note, be sure to check out our sister shows on the Tech Podcast Network. And be sure to check back here next month where we put the chop in Tech Chop.
One hit! One hit!
I'll catch you next month for your prescribed dose of Tech Chop. The easiest way to support TechChop is by doing your Amazon shopping at amazon.techchop.com. You're going to shop there anyway. Why not throw us a bone at the same time and support the show? It's the same Amazon you're used to with the same prices, except a small percentage of your purchase goes to help the show. The next time you want to shop at Amazon, do it at amazon.techchop.com. We can't make it any easier for you to support us. Bookmark amazon.techchop.com for all your future Amazon purchases, as well to continue your support. Thank you.